Breaking news! Celebrate, my friends! The Denver Broncos are officially back in the spotlight, delivering a resounding 31-13 victory over the Indianapolis Colts to clinch their first winning season since 2016. This isn't just a win for the record books, it's a statement for the league, as the Broncos now have a whopping 90% chance of securing a playoff spot. I need to cover a few important points with you, but before I go any further, make sure you've hit that like button. But only do that if you believe we're going to make the playoffs and maybe even the Super Bowl. Anything is possible, my friends. Still on the subject of yesterday's game, the game didn't start off on the right foot for Denver. In the first half, the Colts raced out to a 10-0 lead, exploiting the Broncos' persistent issues with their running game. Jonathan Taylor was seemingly unstoppable early, shredding Denver's defense. But the Broncos showed resilience and determination, a hallmark of their campaign this year. They adjusted at halftime, strengthened their ground defense, and went on an explosive 24-point scoring spree in the second half without allowing Indianapolis to respond. The second half comeback was led by a ferocious defense. Nik Bonitto added to his stellar season with a game-changing pick six, proving why he deserves serious consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. He now boasts over 10 sacks this season, along with multiple takeaways and even 2 touchdowns. Pat Surtain, too, also added to his highlight reel with his 4th interception of the season. Unfortunately, Surtain sustained an ankle injury during his return attempt, sidelining him for the remainder of the game. Fans will anxiously await updates on his status, especially with the critical matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers just days away. On the offensive side, it wasn't a banner day for quarterback B. Nix, who threw for 130 yards with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. While he showed flashes of brilliance late in the game, particularly when Denver needed to seal the win, this performance wasn't his best. Yet, the beauty of this team lies in its balance. When the offense struggled, the defense and special teams rose to the occasion. Marvin Mims continued to shine, setting the offense up with excellent field position, a trend that has been invaluable throughout the season. This adaptability and resilience highlight why the Broncos are legitimate playoff contenders. Even when one phase of the game falters, the other two step up. The defense has proven it can shut down top offenses, and the special teams consistently provide a spark. However, the ground game remains a glaring weakness. It's a concern for the postseason, where running the ball effectively to control the clock becomes critical, especially against elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson. Denver will need to address this if they hope to make a deep playoff run. Speaking of playoffs, the Broncos are currently sitting as the AFC's 6th seed with a 9-5 record, 1 game ahead of the Chargers. Thursday night's game against Los Angeles is now a must-watch. If Denver wins, they'll not only secure the tiebreaker over the Chargers, but also create a 2-game cushion with 2 games remaining. This would all but guarantee their playoff spot, barring an unlikely series of events. A win on Thursday could even open the door for Denver to climb as high as the 5th seed, potentially setting up a matchup with the Houston Texans, a more favorable opponent compared to others in the AFC. Injuries, however, remain a looming concern. In addition to Surtain's ankle, cornerback Riley Moss has now missed 3 consecutive games with a knee injury, and defensive lineman DJ Jones left the game with what appeared to be a broken finger. These absences could test the depth of Denver's defense, especially in a stretch run featuring the Chargers, Bengals, and Chiefs. Still, this victory against the Colts encapsulated everything the Broncos have worked toward this season: a gritty defense, opportunistic special teams, and an offense that finds ways to make plays when it matters. For a franchise that hasn't seen the playoffs in 8 years, this turnaround is nothing short of remarkable. Fans have every reason to be optimistic, especially with the Broncos now on the cusp of snapping their playoff drought. What do you think, Broncos country? Are you confident this team has what it takes to make a deep run in the postseason? Do you see them holding onto their playoff spot, or even climbing higher in the seedings? Let us know your thoughts, and stay tuned for part 2 of this breakdown, where we'll dive deeper into the playoff implications, upcoming matchups, and what this victory means for the long-term outlook of the Denver Broncos. Looking ahead, the Denver Broncos find themselves at a crossroads. This win over the Colts is undoubtedly a major step forward, but the challenges ahead could define their season. With a short week to prepare for a pivotal Thursday night matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers, Denver's focus must shift quickly from celebration to execution. The playoff implications for this game are enormous. Denver currently holds the 6th seed in the AFC, sitting at 9-5, while the Chargers are just 1 game behind. A win not only solidifies Denver's playoff position, but also effectively ends any chance of Los Angeles overtaking them, thanks to the head-to-head tiebreaker. In the NFL's tightly packed postseason race, every advantage counts. If Denver can pull off a win and improve to 10-5, it would give them a commanding 2-game lead with only 2 games remaining. This cushion could allow the team to rest key players in the final stretch, a luxury that could be crucial given their growing injury list. However, this game isn't just about holding onto a playoff spot. It's about momentum and proving they belong among the AFC's elite. A win against the Chargers would demonstrate that the Broncos are not just playoff contenders, but legitimate threats capable of making a deep run. The team has already shown it can adapt and win in a variety of ways, whether through a defensive masterpiece or timely special teams contributions. But to take the next step, the offense must find consistency. That starts with addressing their glaring struggles in the run game. Denver's inability to control the ground has been a persistent issue all season. Against the Colts, the team failed to establish the run, even as the defense clamped down on Jonathan Taylor in the second half. The Broncos will face even stiffer challenges in the postseason, where controlling the clock and managing the game becomes essential. Teams like the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens won't give Denver the same margin for error. If Denver wants to contend with the NFL's best, they need to find a way to balance their offensive attack and take some pressure off quarterback Nik. Nik, for his part, remains a conundrum. His 3-touchdown, 3-interception performance against the Colts was a microcosm of his season, flashes of brilliance paired with head-scratching mistakes. While he's shown he can make clutch plays in critical moments, his inconsistency raises questions about whether he can lead this team deep into the postseason. The defense and special teams have been able to mask some of these deficiencies, but the margin for error shrinks in January. For Denver to truly be a threat, Nik will need to elevate his game and cut down on turnovers. Defensively, the Broncos remain one of the most formidable units in the league. Nik Bonitto's dominance has been a revelation, and his performance this season has put him firmly in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. With over 10 sacks, multiple takeaways, and 2 touchdowns, Bonitto is playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. His ability to disrupt opposing offenses is a game-changer for Denver, especially in high-stakes games where turnovers can swing momentum. Pat Surtain-Tu's injury is concerning, but if he can return to form quickly, this secondary has the potential to shut down even the most potent passing attacks. The special teams, led by Marvin Mims, continue to be a bright spot. Mims has consistently set up the offense with excellent field position, a crucial advantage in tight games. While the offense hasn't always capitalized, the contributions from special teams cannot be overstated. This well-rounded approach, strong defense, reliable special teams, and an offense that does just enough has been the formula for Denver's success this season. The question now is whether it will be enough against top-tier opponents. The road ahead is daunting. After the Chargers, the Broncos face the Cincinnati Bengals, a team fighting for its own playoff life, followed by the Kansas City Chiefs, who remain one of the NFL's most dangerous teams. These final games will not only determine Denver's playoff seeding but also serve as a litmus test for how they stack up against the league's elite. Broncos country, it's your turn to weigh in. Are you confident this team can secure a playoff spot? Do you think they have what it takes to make a deep postseason run? Or are there too many questions on offense to consider them true contenders? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns as we head into one of the most exciting stretches of Broncos football in recent memory.